Hi, everyone. This is Carrie, and you are going to be listening to the phone calls, part one of the phone calls, of Letecia Stauch and her then husband, Al Stauch. Letecia is accused of unaliving her 11-year-old stepson, Gannon Stauch. If you're not familiar with the trial, please stop here and go back and watch some of my previously recorded videos that kind of get you up to date on what's going on. And if you are familiar with it, then enjoy the video.
Hello.
Whose voice was that?
That was my voice.
Okay, go ahead.
Tisha? Okay. Hello. Hey.
Whose voice is that?
That was the defendant's voice.
Okay. So Judge, at this point, we'll just let it play.
All right, Mr. Stauch, you can go ahead and step down.
Thank you. Why didn't you say anything?
I did. I said hello. It's just hard because I have to get service off Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So what's up?
Oh, I'm a little hungry.
You still haven't eaten anything?
No,
Huh?
no.
Why not?
I don't have any money or cards. They have all that. I have all my debit cards, credit cards.
Who has all that?
They have it from my car. I don't have anything from my car.
Oh, you didn't have it with you?
I did. I had my purse with me, but they took my purse and they took my Apple Watch and all that. They took everything I had possession on.
Why did they do that?
I guess the same reason they took everything that was in my book bag and all they car. I mean, they even took the dog paperwork and my social security card and my birth certificate. My passport, which is why I can't be at the airline because I have to have a passport.
You're not working at the school anymore? I thought you had the early college thing going on.
Right. They took my laptop and they took my car. So I called them and said, hey, I don't have a way to get to work right now. I'm going to work on it. I should have my car back in a day or two. I'm still waiting, and I don't have a way to get to work. So as I got my place out of Denver, and I don't have a passport because I have to have my passport and my crew badge to get on DIA.
So you still
Seem to help me get any of it.
who's no one, like the police or whatever?
Like I've called the evidence department several times and just been like, can I at least get my tax? Can I at least get anything that deals with my everyday life of operating, like my cards, my passport? And then the guy was like, well, why do you need your passport? I said, well, it's required by FAA to have it with you at all times, or you cannot even get to the airport, can't do anything.
Yeah, you told me that. I forgot. I'm sorry.
So I just want to get my content like that because how am I supposed to work if I don't have any of it?
Yeah, I know.
Placed on hold. Please wait for your contact to return.
Hello? That was weird. Hello?
Hey,
What happened?
the Wi-Fi, I don't have a number, so the Wi-Fi just dies. So I had to use this Indian dude's number here, phone number here, to call you back on because I don't only have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But anyway, so like have into that stuff. So I'm not trying to purposely not go to work, not do anything. I just need help obtaining any of it to even do anything.
Well, I'm having trouble too because they still freaking got my truck and my, you know how I have those badges I got to get in.
Yeah.
I can't freaking get into my secure part of my job, so I can't even do what I'm supposed to be doing either. So it's freaking driving me nuts.
So like the people are fussing at Harley because she needs her high school diploma and she needs a report with her ID, social, and high school diploma. And I'm trying to explain to them what's going on.
Yeah.
And like I just can't get any help because she's supposed to be there every week on base doing stuff. She leaves in 28 days.
For basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did anything ever happen with that job? That new MOS?
Yeah, the guy wants to talk to her about it. That's why he told her, he said to come in, but we didn't have a way, so we explained that to him. So we didn't have a way. We don't have a way to get on base because they have IDs. They have everything. It's in the book bags, everything.
Okay. What were you talking? What is C? What was that thing you said you called? I just popped in my head. CIB or something?
Yeah, you guys, I'm trying to talk to you about like help, and they're not. I'm not downing or talking about anyone, but they don't need to be the lead agency if they're not going to lead. So the Colorado Bureau of Investigations can even look at it from a different approach. So I called the Colorado Bureau of Investigations and I talked to someone and they're going to call me back.
What did you tell them?
I didn't say anything bad about anyone. I just said there's a lot of key things that they're choosing to leave out. And I said, it's becoming a witch hunt after one person. I said, when they're barking up the wrong tree and they're not even following what credible things that I've told them.
Well,
Like they want tips from the public, but the public was not there.
Well, what credible things have you told them? That's in our emails, I'm trying to, and I know you said you were waiting to talk to me and everything, but what is it that you've told them? Because I know we had some, uncertainty about some of the things initially, and that's fine. But like, what is it that you told them that they're not looking at? What is the? Can you walk me through it? I know I asked you for that timeline.
Hold on a second. I can't breathe. Even 1 second.
Take your time. Just try to get some deep breaths.
I'm just trying to put the window down on this stupid thing because it's hot. And like I'm having to like run into people I don't even freaking know. They could be mad killers and shit to be like, hey, can I use your phone? Hey, can I sit in your car for a minute? Hey, do you think I could drive your car to the store?
I know I'm starting to feel some heat too. Like I told you when I went to Bass Pro Shop last night. I wanted to get some clothes, but I was trying to hope to run into you on the north end, like you said you were out there. But
Yeah.
well, like I said, I was just trying to hope to bump into you or something. But I feel like I'm having to hide now. That's why I went and got some redneck clothes, like the clothes that you don't like, because all those nice clothes I have at the house that you got me, I would just stick out like a sore thumb, and I'm just trying to hide too.
I don't know how long you got, but I just wanted to start with you for Saturday what I have.
Okay. Listen, I scooted away for lunch, so probably hour and a half, so we got plenty of time.
All right. What do you mean scooted away from lunch? You don't have a car?
Yeah, I got a rental car. Uncle Jeff helped me out with a rental car, but I just had to get away from all them people, like I've been telling you. It's just crazy. So
You stand by yourself?
me and Uncle Jeff.
Okay, so your Uncle Jeff is there with you.
Yeah,
okay.
it's been like me with my family members the whole time. So
how long can your Uncle Jeff stay?
I have no clue. It's people have been kind of jumping in and out, but
I just didn't want you to be by yourself because I've been trying to be with you because I don't think that you should be by yourself with them because it's a bunch of vultures. That's all.
yeah, I'm not. I'm starting to slowly see that. So, but yeah, let's just do this timeline because I want to hear your timeline so I can try to make sense of it.
Saturday, okay? You said you wouldn't question, you would just listen.
Saturday. Hold on, Tisha. Saturday, like, what do you mean Saturday? Like, right before me and Mama left. Saturday.
After you left.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So this is the paper I have. I had to get it notarized because that's what that guy said to do. Right after y'all, whoever found us and took Holly's car, that's where we had left from, was the attorney. But anyway. Alright. So I'm gonna just go through certain things. I'm not gonna read it verbatim how he did it because it would be more of like in law terms. But key one, Albert and his mom left for Denver. We put DEN in there. Around the house, cleaned up. G helped with stuff. Helped me get stuff out of his car. Gannon's always barefooted because that was something that he asked me. Even taking the trash out, things like that. He took the trash out. He stepped on something in the garage. So my car parked. You had those boards that were underneath my car, right?
Yeah.
Gannon was going to go help because he was saying that there was some kind of piece out there that was going to help me. You know the little zip ties that you have on things and it's hard to get off?
Yeah.
So he knew where something was at to go pop this off. So he was going to go get it because I had bought them some things from the clearance store. All right, so Gannon cut his foot on those boards. We flipped the boards over because we were freaking out because I was like, oh my God, your daddy said don't get oil or anything from your car leaked on those boards. You know what boards I'm talking about?
The one, like the 2x4s that I have, like that you drive over to park in the garage or whatever. Yeah.
So I let Gannon sit down in the back of the car. You know how funny I am about my car. But also we just bandaged it up, whatever. All we did was stick a bandage on it, whatever. And I said something to him about, Gannon, you gotta quit coming out here barefooted, which I do the same thing. I take dogs out barefooted anyway.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you. Hold on. Wait a second. I'm just thinking here, and I'm going to listen to everything. Just something that popped in my head. He always goes out the front door to do the trash. That's so weird.
But he was helping me unload. Like I had bought them a bunch of stuff in the clearance store. If you look in the garage,
I got you. Okay, I thought you said take out the trash. I'm sorry.
let me explain this to you. There's 2 bags that was put in the garage because I had put a bunch of stuff in there. I would have bought them a bunch of crap that went on sale from the clearance store because they were changing over to like warm weather stuff. But obviously in Colorado, you can still wear the cold weather stuff. Which I saw Lena online wearing, so therefore I knew it was in the house. Anyway, so my point was, he was really, helping me out, whatever, just talking to me about something. Who knows what he was talking about? He tells me about video games. I listen, but I don't understand them. Anyway, so he was bleeding on his foot, and we turned the boards over because I was like, oh my God, I was gonna freak out, because these are the boards. He said, don't you get oil on my car? Don't drip on my car, whatever. All right. So during this time frame, Gannon was supposed to be taking the trash out. I said, you might as well go and take out recycle, whatever. But Gannon kept going to the gate with nothing. And I kept saying, why are you going to the gate? He was like, I'm going to make sure the gate is locked. Well, okay, this is the first I'd known. I knew we were talking about locking the gate, but I didn't know Gannon had the key. I thought maybe you just had the key yourself, whatever. I didn't know Gannon had the key.
Babe, he didn't. Babe, but hold on. He had the key was in our room in the on top of the dresser the whole time. Remember, he kept.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention or remember.
All right.
So he kept going out there with the key and saying that he was checking to make sure the gate was locked. Okay, benefit of doubt, maybe he was, because we had talked about making sure that gate was locked, or talking to somebody. I don't know. I'm not speculating. I know I got on him about, hey, doing this.
Yeah.
So underneath there was a rug. That rug that we stepped out on, it was a rug. There was blood on it. I had walked on it, and I was like, Gannon, we probably should just throw this away and find a new rug to put out here. So
what rug are you talking about again? So the one in the garage.
Right.
Yeah.
When you step down, there's a rug. I said we probably should just throw this away. I said because we can always just get another piece or another rug, or I'll go to Dollar Tree and get a rug, whatever.
I got you.
Okay. So that was that. Okay, so then on the next section it says I replaced rug, blah 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 blah. Okay, yep, bam. All right. And then it says he came in the house and he immediately ran downstairs to the room. So then I kept going down there because his door was locked. He said he was keeping Lena out, which again I didn't question because they always get where 1 minute they want to play with each other, the next minute they're like, get out. Okay. So then I sat on the sofa to put on the Peloton shoes because I was going to ride the bike again because my friends had said they were going to redo a later time that we could do the bike. Gannon kept coming in there saying, are you going to stay here? Are you going to stay down here? Are you going to stay down here? So I took it as if he was like excited I was going to stay down there and, just be able to run around and do whatever. But then I had to go upstairs and help Lena, yada, yada, yada. So I got on my statement, it says I was back and forth, but came back when I heard a loud noise. So there was a loud noise that happened downstairs. So of course, I run back downstairs and realized, or so I thought, was a box or something fell over in the storage room. Sounded like something was really loud in the storage room, but I assumed that it was a box. Gannon had his door locked, so I knocked on the door. Of course, I'm like, hello, because I hear a lot of noise. And so he opened and said I couldn't come in. And I was laughing. I'm like, why? And he told me he was doing something. I don't remember what he told me he was building. I'm sure it was something about the Toy Cons or Joy Cons or whatever. I didn't think anything of it. Just, okay, he's building something, whatever. But there was a loud noise, and he was in his room. So then he said his stomach started hurting a little bit or whatever. So I told him to come upstairs. I had the special ice cream. I had his Pedialyte pops. I had already went and bought them because I thought, this time of year, this is when I got the cold last year. I'll take them. So I let him take the Pedia pops or whatever, and he took some Miralax. So that was a normal day for Saturday. Like, you were already, going on. You probably already got the plane. We all laid down, yada, 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 right?
Right.
We're about Saturday.
Yeah. Crystal.
Sunday, all right? Sunday, we talked to you in the morning. Remember I told you, I sent you a few messages, and I was like, hey, we might go on a hike, whatever. Everyone's going to get dressed, Then suddenly we saw the news about Kobe Bryant. So then, of course, that delayed it because I'm sitting on the sofa crying, trying to figure out, like, oh my gosh, Kobe died. Is this true? Remember I messaged you. We talked back and forth about it, whatever.
Yeah, I had just gotten to the airport at Lawton when you told me that.
Right. So Gannon hadn't talked at all. I mean, Gannon didn't know who Kobe was. Or maybe he knew from, hearing it, but didn't really know who Kobe was. He just noticed that I was sitting there, crying, oh my God, upset. And we were sitting there talking about it. So I was telling him that, hey, Kobe has a lot of daughters. He only had sisters. Gannon went over the whole, I don't want you thinking this is irrelevant because I want you to think of anything that I say that might have triggered something.
Yeah, right. I'm listening very closely.
So then we were talking about the daughters, and I was like, yeah, he always wanted a boy, but he never could have a boy. He had daughters, blah, blah. So then I let him in on a little secret, which I already told you over email what it was. Okay, I don't need to say it again. You already know. So me and him were talking about that. He was kind of like, really? And I told him, I said, yeah, I lost a lot of babies. I said, it was kind of hard. I said, you want one thing and it don't ever happen. I felt like I was in a situation to talk again about this because we were over here upset crying about Kobe. And so I was like, I'm telling you because I know that you'll be able to pray and keep a secret. And we were like, kind of being silly about, this is a secret we have between each other. We'll tell Daddy, yada, yada, yada. So we sat there and talked about that for a little bit. So then Holly got called into work. So I was like, crap. We had everything packed, ready to go on a hike, had the Getty, had everything. We were going to plan on staying for a while and then go get dinner. Well, she got called on a hike. So we decided to take 2 hikes. So this is where all this confusion comes with hike. Harley went, hike, Harley not went. So we took the dogs on the hike through the trails in Morrison Range. So if you leave out of our neighborhood, go out to the side, go up to the little whatever, you could take the dogs on a trail, come back, yada, yada. So that's what we did first. Came back. Gannon had his water pack. I'm sure you saw the pictures online from Garden of God that some other creeper people took. He had his water pack on his back or whatever, so we got ready for round 2. So hike 2 was Garden of the Gods. So then it says, Garden of the Gods was our hike 2. So we went about 2 miles in, lots of talking about things. G asked me, did I know any of his mommy's friends from Coastal? It was a random thought process. So I just figured he was trying to be curious about it. I said, and did I remember Brian? And we laughed about some new friend named Mike too. So we were just having this conversation about whoever these people were. And I was like, I don't know anybody named Brian, and I don't know anybody named Mike too. I guess a new Mike or whatever. All right, so Gannon's stomach hurt, and he was, let's see, Gannon's stomach hurt. And most of the night he had a stomach ache, and he tried to lay down and poop and stuff like that. So during this time, I'm messaging you, which you're probably tired, jet lag, whatever. It's like, hey, Gannon's stomach's hurting, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
If it happened regularly, you know he would get,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. So that's when he asked me about the bath salts. Still, hadn't talked to you about it yet, didn't know whatever. He took a bath, and then I gave him a bath bomb, because I thought, maybe he just wants to be clean. You know, whatever. Bath salts, I didn't know any of that stuff. So then, next section. Alright, so then the next section was, I don't remember exactly who took the bath first, but everybody had their baths. Everybody was doing their own thing. Gannon was like going back in his room. I said, okay. So then here's my next note. Alright, Albert had grounded Gannon from the switch. I understand it. He said he was still grounded, but he could get off, you know, the next day. He'd been in his room most of the night. I knocked on the door. He said he was playing with Grayson. I ain't never heard of fucking Grayson before in my life. So again,
Grayson. He said Grayson?
he said Grayson.
Okay.
So in my mind, I thought, who the hell's Grayson? But I didn't see anybody in the room. Obviously, I weren't like looking under beds or anything like that. Honestly, I thought, those kids at 11 still have imaginary friends? Or are they talking, is he talking to somebody online? Because he's not supposed to have, you know, like technology.
Yeah, right.
Given the,
I said right, yeah.
given the benefit of the doubt, I didn't say anything else. I just said, oh yeah, okay, cool. So Grace and I said hi. I laughed it off, went off about business, didn't see anything. So later on, I don't know the exact approximate time, but I saw he was on the sofa. And I was like talking to him. I was like, oh, you want to sleep out here tonight? Or
Oh, what, downstairs sofa?
yes.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
I'm like talking to him about tonight, whatever. He told me that his Uncle Matt was going to visit. Okay, so I don't know who the hell Uncle Matt is. So I was just sitting there like, okay, that's when it dawned into me that he had to be talking to someone on something, because Grayson, I have no clue who it is. Matt, I have no clue who he is. Then I was like, this can't be characters in some game, because it didn't sound like some game characters. I don't know Uncle Matt, and I don't know Grayson. So he was talking about his Uncle Matt was going to visit, and I thought, okay, you know, again, trying to be sensitive to the fact that I know that he probably has friends, family on the other part of the country that maybe he was missing or whatever. So it says, so again, I was like, boy, yeah, so again, that's my statement. So again, I was like, boy, you need to stay off that TikTok. You're being silly. Because I already told him he needs to stay off the TikTok. He was being silly. All right, so I went upstairs. He was on the sofa to watch TV. I told him I'd come back later with him because he wanted to watch something on the show, but I had to get Lena ready, and I promised him I would let him stay up 30 minutes later. I said, you know, I was upstairs, getting Lena ready for bed, yada, yada, yada. Well, then, out of nowhere, the alarm is going off. It didn't start with anything other than the alarm. Lena had laid down. I had went in the room. I was sitting there with the dogs. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was doing something on Roku. I hear the alarm go off. So I walked in the living room, hit the alarm code in. And I'm just like, alarm code. And it stopped. So I thought, who in the world, you know, was on the alarm code? Then it beeped again. It kept going. And then it started fire. It was yelling loud, fire, 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 fire. And I'm just like, fire? And I look around, don't see any flipping fire anywhere. So as this goes on, I'm like, okay, put the code in again, it stops. So I'm like, okay, I might get on the phone with ADT because something's wrong with this thing. Remember when we were out of town, the neighbor said she smelled gas and her thing was going off, but then they didn't find anything?
Yeah, right.
So I was thinking maybe it's something to do with this. So that was how my whole process was. So then, at that point, I was like, the carbon monoxide thing started beeping. And I ran in there when Lena was at, and I said, Lena, are you asleep? Because I knew, unless I was under some adrenaline rush, and this is not being mean, I would just pick Lena up and yank her out of bed. But luckily, she hadn't fell asleep all the way. I said, Lena, because I thought I was being crazy. I said, do you hear that? It said fire, right? She's like, yes. And so I grabbed Lena, run her outside, run her with the dogs, give her the keys to the truck, throw them in the truck, and I run back inside. Run back inside, still don't know anything, and then remember, oh my God, Gannon. Sorry that for a second I hadn't remembered that because I was trying to still figure out where in the heck I was with that. So I run back downstairs and realized that there's smoke downstairs. I couldn't get. I was coughing and choking and couldn't get through the smoke part. Run back to the garage. You had these little mouthpieces that you could put over your mouth.
Yeah, dust protectors, whatever.
So I grabbed one of those, put it over my mouth, ran back downstairs, and when I ran back downstairs, Gannon was still asleep, not knowing this was going on, and there was fire. I took the cover. There was a whole bunch of tons of cover that was inside that little tan thing, and Gannon had on or whatever, and I just jumped on him. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. If it was the wrong thing to do, I'm sorry. But I just jumped on it and kept jumping on it, and Gannon was right in one of the covers. So Gannon did burn his arms. Wasn't bad. It was that's you know how you get a little bit of oil on it, and it's just underneath the skin, but as long as y'all peel it, it's fine.
Yeah, but hey, Tisha, which arm was it? Both arms or this inside? I mean, but how was it? So, because I remember we talked about that before a little bit, but we never got it.
I feel like it was across the arms. I feel like it was, and I told the investigators this. I said, and I don't want to skip to this part, miss this part. But remind me that. Say this later. I told the investigators later that I said I probably should have looked a little more in depth at his arm.
What if he's hurt? Yeah.
Because it could have been, he wasn't complaining oh, it's hurting. He wasn't saying anything along those lines. But I should have looked a little bit more in depth. But honestly, we ran. So we ran out. I'm sure they got the footage of us, me running out first, because Gannon was grabbing his cover, running out behind there because he was cold.
Hey, what time was this so I can maybe tell somebody to look at the footage?
Well, I mean, I told them originally, I don't have access to the ADT now, but I told them because the ADT said it had an alert for fire. So I would imagine whenever that alert went off from ADT, it would have been within that few minutes.
Yeah, fine, I got you.
15 minutes.
Hey, tell me about it. So I'm really concerned about these burns because he's freaking hurt. What? What were they big? Were they small? What was it? Was it from the candle wax or what?
Let me get to that part. It's not going to worry you in a minute when I get to that part.
Okay, because I'm freaking out right now because.
I understand. So when he runs to the car, he runs in because I'm running. He's running behind me. I jump in your truck. Always jumping in your truck because the keys were laying there.
Okay.
I jump in your truck. He jumps in on the driver's side. He's screaming, crying, whatever. Lena's in the back seat with the two dogs. We turn your truck on, and we drive the hell off. Don't ask me why we drove off. I was freaked out because I was like, oh my God. It was the carbon, it was the smoke was more scary and terrifying than actually the fire. So
okay.
What we did was we drove around the block, and I kind of had to be like, okay, what do I do? A, do I need to call the police department? B, does anybody need medical attention? So then we go back in the house. Lena's freaked out. I put Lena in our bed. I said, Lena.
So you drove around for how long and then came back?
No, I drove around the block.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. Yeah, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I drove around the block, Wando, that area.
Yeah, I know.
Pull back up in the drive. You didn't have much gas because I hadn't put gas in your car yet. You didn't have much gas.
Right.
My process of driving was thinking, oh my God, I was in shock. So I pulled back in the driveway and parked. We all get back out, go inside. Lena's freaking out, crying. We're both, Lena and I are standing there looking at Gannon. I didn't, at that point in time, I didn't see anything on his hands, arms, or anything other than take your hand where you're holding your phone and look on the insides where the edges are. That part right there had little bubbly spots. Okay? So they had bubbly spots on both sides of his arm. And I think that was from when he grabbed the cover and I was trying to grab him up and he came down with me with the cover because he was like latched onto the cover.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was trying to grab the whole cover to put out the fire. So from the inner parts of his arm had these little bubble spots.
So you said both sides, or is it just the inner parts? I'm just trying to, because this might be key information.
Like both sides, left arm, right arm.
I got you. Okay, so both sides of both arms.
From what I remember, both sides of both arms, because he had, when Gannon was laying down, I grabbed him to get him up. Okay, because I remember it was that,
Oh, God.
it's one of the covers. I grabbed him to get him up, whatever. He gets in the car, whatever, we're talking. He's explaining to me that he thought I was coming and he was grounded from the switch. So he thought I was coming, and when he thought I was coming, he knocked over the candle.
Okay.
Because apparently he was playing the switch when he shouldn't have been playing it, which is fine.
But he had the candle on the couch, I guess, right?
No, he had sitting on some kind of little, that little white thing that was sitting next to the couch.
Okay. Oh, I got you.
I don't know if the candle fell over. I don't know. I know that when I got there was a fire, and it was on his cover. So I was trying to rip the cover out of his hands to get him up and like jump on the fire. They have pictures of where there's burn marks on my elbow where I jumped on the fire. So we get in the car, and he's crying and screaming and telling me he's sorry and he don't want to get in trouble because of the switch. He was on the switch and he shouldn't have been on the switch. And so we drive around the block, and I'm like, it's okay, we'll figure it out. Honestly, I flipping lost my mind because I thought in my mind, like, had I not gotten downstairs when I did, had I not heard it or the alarm system or covering outside or whatever, if I would have hit that couch, I don't know that I could have gotten again. And that was my biggest thing that my brain was sitting there like freaked out on. Come back inside. Lena's terrified. I said, Lena, go lay in the bed. She's laying in the bedroom. And I was like, he doesn't want to go back to his room. I said, okay, will you lay in Lena's bed? He said yes. He started to say he was cold and had a little bit of shivers. And so I was like, Gannon, I took him and put more clothes on top of him now. Blame it on me, whatever. I didn't take his clothes off to go through anything, but I asked him, was he hurting? And was anything else, whatever. He told me it was just his arms. So I didn't see anything that would have thrown a flag that I had to be like, oh my God, emergency or anything like that. I didn't see anything like that.
But if his arms was bubbling, that's not an emergency?
Well, it hadn't broke skin. Like, it was just like underneath. It hadn't broke skin or whatever.
Okay. All right.
In my mind, I'm like, okay, let's evaluate the situation, tomorrow and see or whatever. It wasn't burn marks like carpet burn or like, anything like that. It was bubbly. And I told them from that, I said, I honestly probably could have, got him in the car and said, hey, can you just check this out to make sure? Because in my mind, in his arms, I didn't see it as a bad thing. I just knew he was like, it's not hurting. We put aloe on it, and I assumed, okay. So then we put on the long sleeve shirt on him because he said he was kind of cold or whatever it was. He lays down in Lena's bed. Lena sleeps in my bed, our bed. Charlie comes home. I go in, and I had already prepped Charlie for what was going on. I was like, hey, don't panic when you get here. I was like, there's smoke, the house is smoky, Gannon, this happened, yada, 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 yada. I was scared to go to sleep, so we both went in there and checked on Gannon. We went in there, we gave him water in Lena's bed. We gave him water. We set him up. We were like, "Are you okay?" He was more scared of anything. And so I panicked. Of course, I was like, "Whoops!" Someone said something because I said sell the couch. I wasn't talking about sell the couch to fix the daggone carpet. I was talking about like I would get rid of that couch and get a new couch. Don't panic. Like my point was, honestly, I wasn't even going to tell you because I was like, Gannon was scared of being grounded a year. And I was like, I'll buy a new couch. We'll fix the couch. We'll replace everything in here. Don't worry about it. And that was my whole point. I said, as long as you promise me you didn't do it on purpose, you didn't purposely do this to hurt yourself or hurt somebody, we will fix it. And that's how we ended on Sunday. So Gannon was still like, upset. He was not only emotional about the situation, his stomach was hurting. So that's where we were at with Sunday.
Okay.
You give me 1 second to pee.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Right.
All right, so later on in the night, Gannon woke me up a few times. He said his stomach was getting worse. He hadn't pooped yet. I messaged you, but you were already asleep. And I was like, hey, Gannon wants to know if he can stay out of school tomorrow. He's scared of pooping in his pants. I think you probably were still asleep. You might didn't get it until the next day, which is not your fault, my fault. It was time zone and tiredness and whatever.
Yeah. Right.
I stayed up with him a few times in the bathroom. Finally, I was like, okay, I wrote you back. I said, I'm just going to make the decision that Gannon can stay at home tomorrow because he is so terrified about pooping in his pants. So the next morning, I called the nurse's line and I asked the nurse's line about his stomach and giving him Miralax and yada yada yada.
You talking about the TRICARE nurses line?
No, the urgent care nurse's line right in front of Fountain and whatever that road is.
I got you.
So I called them and I said, hey, I know typically people are constipated, you give him Miralax, yada yada yada. He hasn't really went to the bathroom. He has blood coming out his butt. And so they just basically explained to do the best she could to get him to pass. And if not, then we needed to call our care provider, whatever. He started beating me up over that, saying you didn't need to have a referral to do this. That wasn't what I was trying to say. I was trying to make the point of, does the boy need to have, anything done? Or can I just give him, like, an enema or something like that? Because I already talked to him about that. So if this don't work, you want me to give him, like, an enema or something? Because it was a big old turd he was trying to get out.
Yeah.
So then, that morning, we were like, I said, Gannon, I'm going to stay at home with you today because I don't want you to stay by yourself. Now remember, we've let Gannon stay by himself. He's been responsible, whatever. But in this state, as in his state that he was in, not feeling well, stomach hurting, butt bleeding a little bit here and there, and being embarrassed, I made a decision that it was not okay for him to stay there by himself if he was sick. If he's on normal terms, taking care of his sister, playing his Switch, doing his thing, then that's fine. But I said, Gannon, you're going to need to go with me. I said, there's a few things I need to handle today. He asked me what, and I was going to look at a bike for you. This guy that was on Craigslist, because he had this bike, like a touring bike, and I said, you want to go with me to look at this touring bike or whatever.
And that was Monday?
Yes.
Hey, so did you give him Miralax or the enema or anything like that? What else did you give him?
I have in this notes what day I gave him Miralax.
All right.
Trying to poop regularly took, that was the bath salts day, like to Saturday. He had Miralax on Saturday. Yeah, here it is. I gave him ice cream and said it had special stuff. Because I was telling him it was really those like Pedialyte ice cream.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And took Miralax. That was on Saturday.
So hold on, I'm trying to just because obviously I'm worried to death about his little arms. Did you rub any cream on it or give him anything for the pain or did pain medicine or anything like that to help him?
Even pain medicine, because I didn't have any pain medicine gift. What I gave him was the aloe that was in our bathroom, that green aloe. We even made like a little silly joke about it because he wasn't hurting. Remember how I was wrapping Sadie up with the little thing?
Yeah.
I wrapped it around his arms too. And
Oh yeah, yeah, the little bandages or whatever.
so I put the aloe, the green aloe on it, and I said, "You can. We'll do you like Sadie." And we laughed about it.
Yeah.
Laughing about it, being yes, it hurt a little bit, but being silly about it on his arms. So that
So he like you didn't give him any like children's Tylenol or anything?
I didn't give him any kind of he wasn't saying that he was hurting in any kind of pain to give him any kind of Tylenol to give him anything at all. And if you feel like that would have been a lapse in judgment on my part, then I'm sorry.
No, I'm just trying to sort through it. I know how both of them are about, every time they scrape their finger or something, they want a Band-Aid. So I would have just assumed that if his arm was all bubbled up, did his arm stay bubbled up like until the next day, or was that just did that go down that night, or how like that's worrying me too.
Okay, so to get to the next part, Gannon started to peel it.
Like when? When did he start to peel it?
Gannon started to peel it because I guess he was either asleep, I don't know, anxious, I don't know. Monday, he started to peel it, like
Okay.
peel his skin.
Yeah, like Monday morning or whatever.
Again, I swear to Jesus told detectives this. I said he started to peel it. When he started to peel it, it had like I don't want to say like not gooey stuff or whatever, but it's almost like it was like popping it type thing. And I said,
Oh yeah, like a blister or something. Yeah.
I said, listen, I said, if it gets worse, we're gonna drive straight. Okay. And that was already the plan. That's why I didn't go to school. I said, if it gets worse, after I put all that stuff on there, whatever. I'm not that type of person where something happens immediately, run to the hospital. You and I've had that conversation before where you would say like every little thing, Lena ran to the hospital. I was trying to evaluate it to see as long as he was talking fine, normal, acting normal. I didn't see at that point in time that he was under any kind of pain.
I got you.
Or say that to me.
Okay, all right.
That was a lapse in judgment on my part. I apologize. But he started to peel it because, obviously he starts to peel things. So along with peeling that, he started peeling his fingernails. So, and I'm like, that morning, I sent you a picture of Gannon laying in bed on Monday morning to your phone.
Yeah, right.
Gannon was laying in the bed, whatever. I went back in there, checked on him, gave him some more water, made him drink some more Pedialyte because he wasn't eating because he was so upset. And that's when I noticed he started peeling things like on his arm. And I said, and at that point in time, which I told you, like I told them, Gannon had blood that was on his arm and on the side of his wall. I guess from sleeping through the night, whatever it was, peeling it. Because we toted him back down to his room after Lena decided to go back to bed.
On the side, you said on the side of his wall. You never told me that.
No, I told detectives this.
Oh.
You never talked to me about this.
Okay, fair, fine. I'm just this is new. I've never heard that before, so now I'm even more worried about him.
So they should have told you this. So then I went in there that morning, sent you a picture. I said, Gannon, why do you have blood on your wall? I was like, it wasn't a lot. Don't panic. It wasn't like.
Oh, so it wasn't like a lot, like all over the place. It was just like a little streaks or something. Oh.
I said, Gannon. Says, did you peel those things? Yes, he did. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to re-bandage your arm. I says, and if you're feeling bad or it starts bleeding, you get a fever, anything like that, I says, as soon as because I was going to go talk to the man about the bike.
Right.
He says, you have to go there first. You want to go to the hospital now. Of course, maybe I shouldn't have asked the kid that, but based on my judgment and what I was seeing with him, I didn't think that he needed to go right away. We went on about our business. And I said, if you start to feel any pain or hurt or whatever like that, we'll just drive to the base. We'll explain to them what happened with the fire. We monitored it through the night, so on and so on. That was our intent. That was the plan the whole time. Everything. Nothing wavered from doing that at all. Gannon asked me questions. He was just like, why does this happen to me? Why do I always get hurt? Because, he had hurt his foot on the boards outside. And I said, Gannon, we're going to figure all of it out. Don't worry about it. We will replace it. Okay? So Monday morning, after all this, I was like, we're gonna go find, which I probably shouldn't have said to him that he would have known that it was on him, but I said, we're gonna go find someone to replace the carpet. He says, and then we'll get it fixed. We won't worry about it. We'll monitor your arm through the day. Yada yada yada. I said, we're gonna go get coffee. Just hang out. And I said there were some things I need to get for the pet store, and we need to go meet the guy about the bike. And it was, that's the reason we drove the truck, because if I end up blocking the bike, I was going to put the bike in the back of the truck.
Yeah, I got you.
And it also knows that when we left, we took my softball bag, Charlie's softball bag with that, stuff like that in it, helmet, because I was asking him, did he want to stop by to look at those hockey skates? So we took any of that old equipment that I had, and we loaded it in the back of the truck, which was the long Easton bag I have.
Yeah. So you took Harley bag?
Charlie's bag, because she don't use that bag.
The little book bag, the softball bag that's like a book bag.
Right.
Oh.
So we were going to take it to that sports place and see if they did like trades, whatever.
Yeah.
We were going to surprise Lena when she got home if I could got him 2 new things of skates or hockey skates or whatever. Because
You talking about Play It Again Sports over there
Right.
that we went to?
that's why we were so far across town.
I gotcha.
All right, so that was our plan for Monday. Go to Play It Again Sports, get some coffee. We needed to get gas, and we were going to monitor his arm along the way. Go check on the thing about the bike.
Right.
We go to, drive around. I think we went to Dunkin' Donuts first, and then the gas store, or it might have been by its first.
Like over by our house, Dunkin' Donuts.
Went to Dunkin' Donuts by our house. Dunkin' Donuts Sharon lady already released the video of us going there. You can see my arm reach out the window. I can grab. Sorry, I didn't mean to say this, and I'm just over all this. Grab the coffee out the car. Then I turned around because I was about to get Gannon a Frappuccino, but he said he didn't want any. So then we drive off from the Dunkin' Donuts. So then we drive from the Dunkin' Donuts, and we go up. I turned 87 somehow, but meant to turn on 25. Needless to say, I went up the bottom.
80? You mean 85?
Yeah, 85, 87. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
I went up towards Nevada, which is where like Holly gets her eyelashes done, that type of area.
What, like past? Wait, you talking about past Walmart and all that? Like not towards Fountain, the other way, right? Oh,
Where the roads. Okay, remember when we went to the recycle at before and the road split?
yeah, way down there, close to. Yeah, okay. But that's towards Walmart. Turn. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Okay, so that's the route that I take, which I'm sure they had because I'm not hiding anything from them or the GPS that I took. So I went that way first, and I realized I was like, oh crap. I was like, I probably should have got on the other exit because I really didn't know. Lately, I've been trying to find my way around, like what exits to get off of, things like that. So I get off and realize, like, oh, this is the way to where we went to the recycle thing at. So I just kept driving and it ends up making a curve and turning you back to 25, Nevada, and all that. And I was like, oh, there's the Petco. I was going to go to PetSmart, but we ended up Petco, so whatever, same thing.
Petco, you went to Petco like way over there?
That's the only Petco there is.
I don't know. The only one I know is the one we went to by Target that one day.
That might know Holly's work.
Yeah, that's PetSmart though, isn't it?
Right. That's what I was saying.
I got you.
I was going to go to PetSmart, but I went to Petco.
I got you.
So I go to Petco and walk inside. Gannon wanted to stay in the car playing the Switch. He was like, he wanted to stay in the car playing the Switch. Again, Colorado law is he could sit in the car at 11 years old.
Oh, so he took his Switch with him.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. He had his Switch, playing his Switch in the back of the car.
You talking about a truck, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, in the back of the truck.
Okay.
So he was playing his Switch in the back of the truck. Well, I went in the first time and yada, yada, yada. I was going in because Sadie has been having like I don't even know what it is. She needs to get her vet paperwork so I can get her checked. I didn't know girl dogs have like periods or like stuff come out. I didn't know this. So I walked in and found these little pads that they had. And I'm like looking at them, whatever. And I set the phone down because I'm like, and my mind is so blown that dogs have this. So I'm like looking at it, freaking out, thinking, okay, should I get these or should I just call the pet, the vet? Maybe it's just something weird coming out of her body parts or something like that, whatever it may be. So then, go back up to the front, look around. I look out the door several times, and these people I know have said, she was suspicious looking out the door. I was looking out the front door just to make sure nobody was at the truck because Gannon was in it. That's all. It was just, he was in the truck, and what if he needed to get out pee or, whatever. That was the only reason I kept walking back to the freaking front door just to make sure he was fine. He was in the truck. So then I get 3 outfits. God forbid I got 3 outfits and only had 2 dogs. Because, of course, this is what these people talked about. I got 3 outfits, checked out, walked out, got in the car. From there, we were going to go to the play against Fort.
But wait a minute, why were you so? I'm kind of confused because like you said you were worried about him getting out, but like we've gone to the gas station and like he's never tried to get out of the car. So what was I don't know. Maybe that's nothing, but what made you freak out that day?
Parked on the front row. I was parked a little bit off, so like if he needed to get out, use the bathroom, or he was looking for me, or whatever.
Okay, all right, yeah. I was just that kind of was weird because like he's usually he does what we tell him, stays in the car. But anyways, go ahead.
Right, but not Albert. Exactly, he does. Just like I told you, he could have stayed at home on a normal basis, but he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah,
so I was
fine,
like,
fine. I got you.
What if you had to poo? Whatever.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be a good parent. That's it. It wasn't no.
I know.
Looking in the car.
I got you. It just was weird that you said that, but it's okay. I'll just go ahead.
So I went on, got the things checked out, left. I don't remember if we stopped at another store in between there or what. We were headed to go to the Planet Against Sports, and we were headed to go talk to the dude about the bike. Well, they had my phone, so they can see that the guy wrote back about the bike with the pictures, and I was asking about prices and yada, 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 yada. And I was like, I didn't want to go to the man's house with the bike, without I wanted it to be legit, I got me in the car, and not only had me in the car, I got Gannon in the car. So I thought, I need to, like, I need to make sure this is legit. So I'm like, send me a picture of the bike. Can you call? Can you whatever? And like, he wasn't acting like he was wanting to like give me information that he could meet me at a safe spot to go look at the bike.
So you weren't going to go to his house or something? He was just going to meet you in general?
I told him messages that I didn't want to just go to some random person's house, and that's probably why they're looking at this whole Douglas County thing, because he lived almost at Douglas County.
Okay, that does sound sketchy. That was probably a good decision. So.
Yeah. So again, in an open book with them, they took my GPS and everything. We got to Douglas County, and me and Gannon was talking about it, and he was like, "Do you know this guy?" And I was like, "Well, not."
So wait, I missed the part. You said so you went to Petco, but you said you were going to play it again. Did you never go to play it again? I forgot.
So we didn't never make it to play it again. That was on our agenda, but we were trying to go for the bike first.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused. I'm sorry.
Okay, the bike was a priority first. Okay, so I was gonna go out to meet the guy with the bike, and somehow they have my email. They subpoenaed all that. They can see the information coming from the Craigslist. Okay.
Oh, it was Craigslist.
So someone had something on Craigslist.
Oh man, that's sketchy, isn't it? Yeah, I don't trust that shit. You there?
You went and bought wood and stuff on Craigslist.
Yeah, I mean for you to do it, and Craigslist, I never trust that shit because they always have those sketchy people doing, I don't know, stupid stuff like meet and greets and stuff. You always told me about that, remember?
Yeah, but like this was just a bike for sale.
Okay, I'm just saying, I'm worried about you and my son's safety. That's what that's
my point. That's why I realized. I said, well, we rode through. Okay, so when you go up Palmer Lake, heading to Douglas County or whatever, we went that way It was supposed to be that the guy had a warehouse somewhere between the Palmer Lake area, whatever.
What, a warehouse of bikes or something?
She said he had a couple bikes that he used to do riding and touring and
okay.
stuff like that.
Like those bikes I was looking at doing those rides, like through Alaska or whatever?
Right.
Okay.
So, get out on this road. So if you're on, I want to say it's exit 165 or 163. Okay, I think that's what I want to say the exit was.
Oh, on 25?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how you're going to before you get to Castle. Oh, it's where we went to take the Remember how traffic is backed up? You can take that back road.
Oh yeah, before you get to like 182 where the outlets are or whatever.
You can take that back road.
Yeah.
Castle Rock.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so it was off that, but to the right side, not to the bougie side where like the boonies and stuff was at. It was off that way to the right side. So I originally got off, and again, they can see this on my GPS. I got off, I went left, and went down that little hill where the little people were at, and I thought, this can't be the right way, because he was saying something about signs and all this. Turned around at the little, I don't know, woods or whatever, came back up, went across the street and realized it was on that right side. I think it's called like Palmer Lake or something like that. Supposed to be looking for this place, still didn't see it, and then it ended up being like all mountainy and dark. I say dark, it wasn't dark in the day, but like, you know.
Yeah, like woods and stuff, yeah.
We turned around, left out of there, and I was like, well, this doesn't even look too great. Again, let them go search that area all they want to. They're barking up the fucking wrong tree because all we did was went through there looking around and trying to figure out where this warehouse was supposedly at.
So you were in the truck or out of the truck?
We're in the truck.
Oh, you had me worried. I'm like, you're out of the truck in the woods looking for a warehouse?
No, it was just driving through there. It was like down, around, up, around. You know, Colorado has all these mountains and shit like that. So I came back out, got back on 25, and was like, crap. I was like, I don't even like think that was a good place. Me and Gannon was like, why can't we just go buy it in the store? Don't they have them at Walmart? You know, and so we were like talking. I was like, yeah, I'll just figure out another place to get a bike. Because the whole thing was I was going to buy you the bike and surprise you for Valentine's Day for it. That was like the whole shebang.
Yeah, I would love that for sure.
At this point, we never got to play it against sports because it was approaching the time that we needed to be headed back.
Okay.
So I said, Gannon, I'll just come back and go to play it against sports again later. Don't worry about it. Your daddy and I have been talking about getting hockey sticks. So we come back up, heading back towards the house because, we had to get back to Elena. Oh, I forgot to tell you a point that we left that day because I put my notebook down. Let me go back to this on Monday. Okay, on Monday.
If you would want to take afternoon.
Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more to come from this case. We will be uploading daily. Have a blessed day.